Number 3 of the 4 rules of engagement. This one is also one that gets me some hate, but we're going to go in it because this is probably one that I can honestly say in my marriage we have talked about often, and we've explored often, and we've interpreted often and interpreted differently, and all the things, because it says speak to each other instead of at each other while maintaining love and respect. And what tends to happen a lot of times when conflict enters the room, or heated conversations happen, or tense moments arise, or even hard conversations happen, we tend to show up where we can feel like we can just put love and respect down to the side and show up to protect ourselves. And then just feel like we can easily pick it back up when we're done showing up for ourselves. But what tends to happen is, how often and how easy do you think it will be to continue just picking those things back up if we're not being intentional with each other, right? Like, if I'm not showing up with you in a way that maintains the respect and the love that we truly do have for each other, how easy do you think our conversations would be to be had? They won't, right? Like, if my tone is crazy, if the way I look at you is crazy, if my body is moving crazy, if I feel like the only way I can talk to you is being loud and aggressive and dismissive, or being quiet and stonewalling and isolating and cold, then we're never going to get to a space where anything can matter when we communicate, that can be received, because we've already shut down. We've already shut off the potential of having healthy conversations. Because how we show up, our body's already showing up and speaking for us. And if we don't be intentional about the co-regulation that's needed, because we're self-regulating so we can show up to co-regulate each other, we're already shooting ourselves in the foot. We're already getting ahead of what could be a moment of connection and severing that from the jump. So how we speak to each other, how we show up with our facial expressions in our bodies, and how we maintain the genuine love and respect that we have for each other, mainly from the jump, because we're married. There should be rules within how we show up when we speak to each other, that certain lines are never crossed. That how we show up, we should never be able to speak to each other the way that we would never allow somebody else to speak to our partners in that way. So if you won't allow somebody else to talk to your boo thing like that, then you should never go there. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Watch yourselves. Make the decision to truly show up the way that you want to receive each other and how you want them to receive you too. Okay? Because if you can't control yourselves and your own emotional regulation and your own logic behind why you show up and how you do what you do the way you do, you are already setting the stance that I don't care. That this is how I've always done it. This is how I'm going to keep doing it. And you're not being intentional with the marriage that you have. And truly, the one that can be so beautiful as you're creating the legacies, if you don't do anything about how you are showing up in everyday situations.